Hi, I'm Zach, and this is Challenger Vedic Astrology and Tarot. Welcome to the channel. Alright, so this is the All Signs Horoscope, and today we're going to be talking about the Lunar Eclipse in Leo. And if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Really helps out me and the channel. To be notified whenever I release a new video, be sure to hit the bell icon and select all. And if you'd like a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal tarot reading, or an astrology consultation, the links to those will be in the description box and the comments below. And if you'd like to donate to help support the channel, the links to those will be in the description box as well. Alright, so today we're talking about the lunar eclipse in Leo. And, sorry, my nose is itching. And we're also going to briefly mention Sun's transit in Pisces, but this is for all signs. Your Vedic Sidereal, Ascendant, Moon, and Sun signs. So if you don't know these placements, you can look up a free birth chart calculator online or get a much more detailed birth chart from my website that even has your D9 Navamsa nakshatras. Okay. But we read from these 3 points. Ascendant, because it's the sign rising in the east at the time you were born. It maps out your life. The Moon, because moon is your mind and emotions. It's how you think and feel about your reality. And the sun, because sun is your soul. And sun is also your body. So, it's what your soul and body are experiencing in this world. In reality. So, you triangulate the transits through these. Combining the meanings of the transits show what's actually happening. Okay. But the lunar eclipse is going to be taking place in Leo. That's going to be March 14th. Now, depending on where you are in the world, this could be a day before, day after. But we also have Sun's transit in Pisces, and that's going to be taking place from March 14th to April 13th. Okay. Now, why am I not talking about the solar eclipse in this video? Well, the solar eclipse, there's going to be a lot going on with it. With Mercury and Venus's involvement, it's pretty complicated to put into one video. So, we're just going to stick to the lunar eclipse today. Alright, but let's jump into it. Okay, Aries. So, for you, Aries, first, let's talk about Sun's transit. Sun's going to be in Pisces. Sun is your focus. Sun is shining a spotlight. So, Pisces is your 12th house. 12th house is bed pleasure, sex and sleep. It's spirituality. It's anywhere you feel isolated. Jails, hospitals, asylums, monasteries. It's losses of all kinds, including financial. It's investing, because when you invest money, you're temporarily losing money. It's donations. It's foreign people, foreign places, foreign travel. It's multinational companies. It's fantasy. It's addictions. It's other worlds. It's outer space. So you're going to be focused on these areas of life. But let's talk about the lunar eclipse. So, lunar eclipse is when there's a full moon in the axis of Rahu and Ketu. So, despite Ketu being in Virgo, moon is what's being eclipsed, and it's in Leo. So, this is your 5th house. So, 5th house is children, students, subordinates. It's romance. It's fun and games. Education. It's creativity, arts and sports. It's politics. It's speculative gains through stock market, through gambling, through business. So, with a lunar eclipse happening here, there can be big changes that take place right around the eclipse. It doesn't necessarily have to be day of. It can actually be a few days before even. I've noticed. But there can be a big change tied to that 5th house. Alright. That's what I have for you though, Aries. Moving on to Taurus. Okay, Taurus. So, let's talk about Sun's transit first. Sun is going to be moving into Pisces. Sun shines a spotlight, so now you're focused on Pisces. Pisces is your 11th house. So 11th house is elder siblings. It's paternal aunts and uncles. It's your friends, your network circle. It's large gatherings, parties. It's gains, stock market. It's your hopes, wishes, and desires. So that's what you're going to be focused on this month. But now let's talk about the lunar eclipse. So, moon is what's being eclipsed. Now, usually this happens near the axis of Rahu and Ketu. Ketu's going to be in Virgo, but moon is what we need to pay attention to. And moon's going to be in your 4th house in Leo. So, 4th house is mother figures. It's home, land, real estate. It's vehicles, it's your comfort and your happiness. So there can be big changes here. Maybe you're moving. Maybe you're getting a new car. Maybe you're renovating a home. Maybe there's something going on with your mother. But these are things that we see very strongly can be impacted with a lunar eclipse. Now this can be a few days before the eclipse or a few days after. But right around that eclipse is when this will take place. Okay. That's what I have for you, Taurus. Moving on to Gemini. Gemini. So, let's talk about Sun's transit first. So, Sun is going to be moving into Pisces, your 10th house. And Sun shines a spotlight. You now have to focus on that 10th house. Well, this is the house of career, fame, status, reputation. It's the workplace. It's your managers and your bosses. It's government, especially national government. It's the highest house of karma. It's your karmic actions that the world notices. So, even if you're out of work or retired, 10th house is still important. But yeah, you're going to be focused there. That's the main point until that solar eclipse. Okay, but now let's talk about the lunar eclipse. So the lunar eclipse is going to be taking place in Leo because it's moon that's being eclipsed. Even though Ketu's in Virgo, we pay attention to the moon. So moon at the time of the eclipse is in Leo, your 3rd house. 3rd house is younger siblings. It's your cousins, your neighbors. It's social media, the internet. It's communication of all kinds, including writing. It's your skills. It's creativity, arts, and sports. It's short distance travel, but it can even be foreign travel because it's 12th from the 4th, furthest place from your homeland. It's a house of self-efforts. It's 8th from the 8th, higher form of sun, ups and downs, and transformation. Transformation through self-effort. It's also marketing and sales. So, there can be a big change here, right around the eclipse, either within a few days before, a few days after. It's not always the day of the eclipse, but there can be big changes in that, almost week span. And it's going to be tied to the themes of that 3rd house. Maybe your younger sibling needs your help. Maybe you're traveling. Maybe you're learning new skills. There could be a big change in your life that you're making. Why? Because 3rd house is 8th from the 8th. It's the higher form of transformation. So it's even bigger transformation than the 8th house. Okay. But that's what I have for you, Gemini. Moving on to Cancer. Cancer. So, let's talk about Sun's transit first. Sun is transiting the 9th house in Pisces. Sun shines a spotlight. You now have to focus on this house. Well, 9th house is your father figures. It's your mentors, your teachers, your gurus. It's religion, philosophy, the law. It's long distance travel, pilgrimage. It's publishing. It's higher education beyond a bachelor's degree. Ninth house is your luck and your fortune. So you're now focused on these areas of life throughout that month. Now, we're going to save the solar eclipse for the next video, though, because there's a lot to it. But let's talk about the moon now. So, there's a lunar eclipse that's going to be happening in Leo, because moon is what's being eclipsed. It doesn't have to be with Ketu to be eclipsed. It's close enough. So, second house is your family, your finances, your earnings, your savings, your bank account. It's your possessions, what you value. It's your speech. There can be big changes tied to the second house, either a few days before the eclipse or after the eclipse. It'll be within that week span of the eclipse that there can be a big change tied to that second house. So, there could be something big going on with your family. Maybe you have a family member who's getting married. Maybe you're becoming an uncle or an aunt. Maybe you're becoming a father yourself. It could be your own family growing. There could be big changes with your finances. Hopefully for the better. Okay. That's what I have for you though, Cancer. Moving on to Leo. Alright, Leo. So, for you, Sun is going to be transiting in Pisces. Pisces is your 8th house. And Sun is shining the spotlight. Sun's your focus. So now you have to focus here. 8th house is your in-laws. It's joint finances and relationships and in business. It's other people's money. It's sex. It's death, wills, inheritance, estates, legacies. It's the occult. It's surgery. It's psychological baggage. It's sun ups and downs and transformation. So you're now focused on these things. But the lunar eclipse is what's important here. So, lunar eclipse is when the moon is eclipsed. Now, moon is going to be in Leo at the time of the eclipse. And moon's what matters here. So, that's going to be in the first house. First house is you. Your physical health, your body, your overall path in life. And your personality. So, there's going to be big changes with you with this lunar eclipse. And don't forget, the moon is your mind and emotions. So, mind and emotions can be impacted during a lunar eclipse. This could be a change in personality for you. Not saying you're going to become a completely different person, but there's going to be something that changes with you. And this can happen a few days before the eclipse or after. It doesn't necessarily have to be the day of. That week span, there can be something that takes place. Okay. That's what I have for you though, Leo. Moving on to Virgo. Virgo. So, for you, Sun is moving into the 7th house in Pisces. And Sun is shining a spotlight. You now have to focus on this house. 7th house is relationships, business partnership, it's marriage. It's the masses, all the people you meet on the world. It's 4th from the 4th, higher form of your comfort and happiness. It's 10th from the 10th, higher form of your career, your status, your fame. It's the highest house of karma, because it's higher even than the 10th house. So, you're now going to be focused on these things. But, let's talk about the lunar eclipse. The lunar eclipse is going to be happening in the 12th house in Leo. Because moon is what matters during an eclipse. Even though Ketu is what's causing the eclipse. Now, 12th house is bed pleasure, sex and sleep. It's spirituality. It's anywhere you feel isolated. Jails, hospitals, asylums, monasteries. 12th house is losses of all kinds, even financial. It's investing, because when you invest money, you're temporarily losing money. There we go. It's also donating. 12th house is foreign people, foreign places, foreign travel. It's multinational companies. It's fantasy. It's imagination. It's addictions. It's other worlds. It's outer space. Now, a lunar eclipse shows there can be a big change taking place here. And this can happen a few days before the eclipse or a few days after. That week span, there can be a big change here. So, you could be becoming more spiritual. Maybe you're traveling. Maybe you don't pass go and go to jail. Hopefully not. Maybe you're dealing with financial losses. But we do see some big event can happen tied to that 12th house. Alright. That's what I have for you, Virgo. Moving on to Libra. Alright, Libra. So, for you, Sun is transiting your 6th house in Pisces. Sun is shining a spotlight. You now have to focus on the 6th house. Well, 6th house is your maternal aunts and uncles. It's your coworkers. It's your pets. It's your enemies. It's your everyday work, everyday routines. It's health issues and accidents. It's competition, conflict, legal disputes. It's debt. And it's health issues and accidents. So, that's what you're going to be focused on. But now, let's talk about the lunar eclipse. So, Moon is being eclipsed in Leo at the time of the eclipse. Leo's your 11th house. So, 11th house is elder siblings. It's your paternal aunts and uncles. It's your friends, your network circle, large organizations, large gatherings, parties. It's stock market. It's gains. It's your hopes, wishes, and desires. And now a lunar eclipse is happening here. So there can be big changes tied to this 11th house. Now, this can happen a few days before the eclipse or a few days after. It doesn't have to happen the day of the eclipse. That week span, there can be a big change here. Could be your elder sibling needs your help. Or there's something big going on with them. Could be you make a new friend. Maybe you're going to a large gathering, a concert or a party. Maybe you're gaining a lot of money, fulfilling a hope, wish, or desire. Okay, that's what I have for you, Libra. Moving on to Scorpio. Alright, Scorpio. So, Sun is transiting in Pisces, your 5th house. Sun shines a spotlight. You now have to focus here. 5th house is children, students, subordinates. It's romance, fun and games, education. 5th house is politics. It's counseling. It's creativity, arts, and sports. It's speculative gains through stock market, through gambling, through business. So you're now focused on these areas of life. But the lunar eclipse is going to happen in Leo, your 10th house. It's happening in Leo because Moon is what matters during this lunar eclipse. It's what's being eclipsed. Ketu's just causing it. So, 10th house is career. It's status, fame, reputation. It's your workplace, your managers and your bosses. It's government, especially national government. 10th house is highest house of karma. It's your karmic actions that the world notices. So even if you're out of work or retired, 10th house still matters. So there can be a big change taking place here. Either a few days before the eclipse or a few days after. And I'm talking about the lunar eclipse. We'll talk about the solar eclipse later. But there will be a big change here during that week span. Okay. So for you, this could be a big career change, especially with Sun also being in the 5th house. 5th house is 8th from the 10th. Sudden change, transformation of your career. So this could definitely be tied to career. But this could also be you fulfilling some very important karma in your life. This could be you obtaining some degree of fame. Okay. That's what I have for you though, Scorpio. Moving on to Sagittarius. Alright, Sagittarius. Ugh. Okay. So, Sun is transiting in Pisces, your 4th house. Sun is shining a spotlight. You now have to focus on Pisces. So, 4th house is your mother figures. It's home, land, real estate. It's vehicles. It's your comfort and your happiness. So that's where you're focused. But there's a lunar eclipse happening in Leo, your 9th house. Ketu's causing the eclipse, but at the time of that eclipse, Moon's going to be in the 9th house. So 9th house is your father figures. It's your mentors, your teachers, your gurus. It's religion, philosophy, the law. It's long distance travel, pilgrimage, it's publishing, it's counseling. 9th house is also your luck and your fortune. And it's higher education beyond like a bachelor's degree or outside of typical schooling. Okay, so lunar eclipse shows there can be a big change here. And this can be a few days before the lunar eclipse, a few days after. That week span is when this big change can take place. So for you, Sun in the 4th house of mother, lunar eclipse in the 9th house of father, definitely there can be a lot going on with your parents. That's one thing we can see with this. In particular, with the lunar eclipse, your father. Now, there could also be something going on with your guru, with your education. Maybe you're traveling. Maybe you're religious or your philosophical views are changing. Maybe there's a change in your luck. But these are some of the things we can see with this lunar eclipse. Alright. That's what I have for you, Sagittarius. Moving on to Capricorn. Alright, Capricorn. So, Sun is transiting in your 3rd house in Pisces. Sun is shining the spotlight and you now have to focus here. Now, 3rd house is younger siblings, cousins, neighbors. It's the internet, social media, media in general, like video games, TV. It's marketing and sales. It's your skills. It's communication of all kinds, including writing. It's short distance travel, but it can even be foreign travel, because 12th from the 4th, furthest place from your homeland. It's creativity, arts, and sports. It's a house of self-effort. It's 8th from the 8th. Higher form of sun ups and downs and transformation. Transformation through self-effort is seen with the 3rd house. Okay. So, with this, we see you're focused on these areas of life. Whoops. That's on my mic. In particular, communication might be important for you. Hold up. Did I mess it up? No, we're good. Alright. Now, there's a lunar eclipse happening in the 8th house. In Leo. And Moon's what's important during a lunar eclipse, even though Ketu's causing it. So, 8th house is your in-laws. It's joint finances and relationships and in business. It's other people's money. It's sex. It's death, wills, inheritance, estates, legacies, taxes. 8th house is the occult. It's surgery. It's psychological baggage. It's sun ups and downs and transformation. So, with a lunar eclipse, this big change can happen a few days before the lunar eclipse or a few days after. That week span, basically. There can be a big change here. Especially for you, because it's in the 8th house of sudden changes. So, maybe you're learning something tied to the occult. Hopefully from me. Maybe you're getting a big tax return. Maybe you're getting a surgery. Dealing with some of that psychological baggage. Or maybe your in-laws just really piss you off in that week. Alright. That's what I have for you though, Capricorn. Moving on to Aquarius. Alright, Aquarius. So, Sun is going to be transiting in Pisces, your 2nd house. There we go. I am learning to enunciate. Okay. Maybe you're struggling with that. Because 2nd house is speech. But Sun is shining a spotlight here, and you now have to focus here. So, 2nd house is speech. It's your family. It's finances, your earnings, your savings, your bank account. It's what you value. It's your possessions. So, that's what you're focused on. But now, there's going to be a lunar eclipse happening in the 7th house. Ketu's causing it, but Leo, where the eclipse is happening, is what's most important. So, 7th house is relationships, marriage, businesses, and business partnerships. Business partner. There we go. It's the masses, all the people you meet out in the world. It's 4th from the 4th, higher form of your comfort and happiness. It's 10th from the 10th, higher form of your career, your status, your fame. Highest form of karma is the 7th house, because it's even higher than the 10th house. So, there can be big changes here, either a few days before or after this lunar eclipse. That week span, there can be a big change here. Maybe you're beginning a relationship. Maybe you're breaking up. Maybe you're getting engaged, moving in together, getting married. Maybe you're starting a business. Maybe you're just achieving something in your career, achieving some degree of fame. But alright, that's what I have for you though, Aquarius. Moving on to Pisces. Alright, Pisces. So, for you, Sun's transiting in your 1st house. And Sun is shining a spotlight. You now have to focus here. 1st house is you, your physical body. It's your personality. It's your overall path in life. So, that's what you're focused on. But the lunar eclipse is going to happen in your 6th house in Leo. Ketu's what's causing it, but Moon is what's being eclipsed, so that's what's important. Now, 6th house is your maternal aunts and uncles. It's your coworkers, it's your pets, it's your enemies. It's your everyday work, everyday routines. It's competition, conflict, legal disputes. It's debt. It's health issues and accidents. So, there can be a big change that takes place here, a few days before or after the lunar eclipse. It doesn't necessarily have to be the day of. That week span, there can be a big change here. So, maybe you're having a health issue, especially with Sun showing you're focused on the 1st house of health. Maybe you're getting a new pet. Sorry, my eyes started bothering me. So maybe some of y'all are dealing with some eye health issues. I don't know. But there can also be some debt that you take on or that you're paying off. Maybe you defeat your enemy. Okay. God, my eye is tearing up now. What the hell? Maybe an eyelash got in it. Pisces. I don't know. Some of y'all are having serious eye problems. That's an omen. Okay. Leave me alone, Pisces. Alright. That's what I have for you, though. Alright. That's what I have for all of you, though. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out me in the channel. To be notified whenever I release a new video, be sure to hit the bell icon and select all. And if you'd like a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal tarot reading, or an astrology consultation, the links to those will be in the description box and the comments below. And if you'd like to donate to help support the channel, the links to those will be in the description box as well. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.